All right, we're going to start on a new project. We're going to try to use social media to help get the message of the church and out, and also to fellowship with one another through the week, keep each other posted on things, maybe provide announcements and information about activities, also maybe touch base a little bit on what we do on Sunday. This is probably only going to be interesting to the folks of the church. So we're going to give this a try. This will be my first one. I'm just going to go over a few things that I'm doing and you might find interesting. And we're going to see if we need to edit stuff, how it works, what kind of equipment we need. So bear with me, and we're going to start this project and see if we can't make this electronic media opportunity work for us in the church. So the first thing is, you'll notice all this on the table. I'm moving all my books from the warehouse to my office in the house. But some of these books have been boxed up since Hurricane Rita, which is over 20 years ago. Some of them smell funny. So I'm bringing them in here, open them up, let them air out, kind of get rid of the that old storm odor, and then we're going to move them in the house. But let me just walk you through some of the neat stuff I found. Number one, this is a piece of a branch of an olive tree that is in a grove of olive trees on the Mount of Olives. And when I was over there, you know, they tell you that that is the grove of olive trees that Jesus prayed under on the night he was arrested and taken before the high priest and then crucified. So they were trimming these trees, and I asked him, I said, well, can I just get can you get me a piece of that branch and let me have it? And they were cutting it up to put in the wheelbarrow. He just cut it up, gave me that piece. So that piece of tree is from the Mount of Olives in the olive grove there where Jesus prayed. And they claim that some of those trees are 2,000 years old. And maybe this piece is from a tree that Jesus was under. And this is the picture. This is the picture of the tree that he gave me a piece of. And all those trees are old like this and been around for generations. So I found that was really neat. I found that piece of olive tree while I was digging out all my stuff. All right, well, the next thing I found was while I was in Israel, they showed us the types of thorns that the Romans would have fashioned the crown of thorns out of, that they put on Jesus' head. So we got to actually see the type of thorn growing there wild in Israel, and that kind of brought into focus more of what that might have been like or looked like and all. Another thing I found in some of the pictures, this is me and my brother. You can't really see us in the crowd, but this is when we were at the Wailing Wall, on the western wall of the temple from the time of Jesus. This is all that's left, the bottom foundation there. So that, you know, these pictures are kind of neat. You'll like this one. This is a picture of me riding a donkey in Jerusalem. I had to pay $2 to do that. So anyway, this is they had, you know, because of, you know, the story of the triumphant entrance where Jesus rode the donkey. They had guys there with donkeys that you could pay $2 and ride a donkey like Jesus did. Anyway, found a lot of really neat books too. Found some books that I forgot I had. Some of them are water stained and messed up. Actually, there's a couple of other things. These are the pictures of when I went with my dad and we went to Kansas and we recovered my grandpa's grave and moved it to Florida where everyone was living at the time. And that was kind of an interesting group of pictures because we had gone around and looked at all the different churches that my dad had served there in Kansas while I was growing up. And it was just a really neat thing. So, all this stuff I had forgot I had until I started digging everything out to try to put together a library and an office here. I also got a bunch of pictures of when our house flooded for Rita. Forgot about how bad that was. But there's one picture I want to show you. This is a picture of a table saw. Now this table saw was about 10 years old at the time we got that flood. And I'm not so sure, I think that flood was in 2020 or so 25 years ago. The reason I show you this table saw is because after we got everything out and cleaned up, we plugged that in to see if it still worked. And it made a funny noise. When it would run, it made a funny noise. And so me and my son said, well, it probably will last a couple of weeks then because something is wrong from being underwater. Do you know we're still using this table saw in the warehouse, and it still makes that funny noise. So I guess you don't just throw something away because it makes a funny noise. That thing, it just won't die. And every time we turn it on and we hear that noise, we look at each other and say, well, sometimes you could be fooled by the way things look. Anyway, this has been interesting, digging out all my stuff, getting it ready to move in here. I'm going to do a couple other videos. I'm going to do one tomorrow on prayer time. Tuesdays are a prayer time day for me. And then I'm going to do a small one on Wednesday and show you a few of the books that I have. And this is just a way to get started for us to figure out how to do these things and see if it's going to work. One other thing you might not know about me is I found some tapes, old cassette tapes and in there was a program that a friend of mine and we wrote all the songs for the program, and we put the program together, and then we took the high school kids, got them to sing, and we went around from church to church with our program, and we sang at all the different churches. So that was I had forgot all about that. So we're digging this out, and it's been fun for me, and I thought it might be fun for you, and I had to start somewhere figuring out how to do this social media stuff. So I hope you'll find this enjoyable, and look, I'll see you Sunday.